it's Betsy, and today we have a fun video. We're going to be testing out the new Candy Skies palette, and this is by Laura Lee Los Angeles and Eryn Weaver. Now, Laura Lee is a YouTuber. She's been on YouTube on the platform for a long time. I used to watch her content all the time. I really haven't watched much of it lately, but I saw this color story and I was like, I want to try you. So the palette retails for $45, and Eryn Weaver is actually Laura Lee's niece that they adopted. So I think that's kind of a great story. And I'm excited to try this because I love me some colorful makeup. So this, on the back of the palette, it is recycled material, 12 months shelf life, and cruelty free. So the color story in here, y'all, though, is so gorgeous, so pretty. And there are 16 shades, or no, sorry, 14 shades, 7 mattes, 7 shimmer formula, 7 shimmers. So we're gonna start off by swatching and then we will test her out. So the first shade we have in here is a matte white called Marshmallow. Not the strongest swatch, but I mean, I don't expect them all to be the strongest swatch. Then we have Macaroon, which this is one of the shimmers. So as you can see, that is a duochrome that shifts from pink to purple. Nothing super unique with it, but it is still pretty. Then we have the shade Pink Strawberry. Let's see, that's 4, 5, 6. I think this is considered a shimmer in here. So it's more, to me, this is more of like a matte with glitter. I mean, it's pretty, but I don't think of that as being like a true shimmer. So there we go. Then we have Peach Ring, which is just a matte peach shade. Sunset, which is an orange coral shimmer. Okay. Wipe off my fingers. Then we have Mint Chip, which is a mint shade. Now, these are pastels, so they may not show up the best on me. Then we have Sky Blue. Okay, these don't swatch the best, but I don't go off of just swatches, you know, it's how it performs. Then we have a purple shimmer called Mixed Berry. Ooh, that's pretty. Then we have E-Bug, which is like a dusty lavender. Sugar Mama, which is a hot pink. That's a pretty color. Then we have Roasted Caramel. There we go. I'm telling you, y'all, it's like I haven't swatched in forever and I swatch every day. Sorry, not sorry. Then we have the shade Cloudy, which that's like one of the shimmery, like blue to purple. That's not an unusual color either. I mean, like that's in a lot of, that duochrome's in a lot of palettes, but it's a nice formula. Then we have this shade Pistachio. Pistachio, that's a hard word for me to say. Pistachio. But it is a pretty, kind of almost a shade, sagey shimmer. And then last but not least, this color is gorgeous. This is Blue Raspberry. So that's all 14 of the shades. So it is more of like a bright pastel. We're gonna test her out to see how the shades work and if it works on my medium skin tone. Now I have primed my eyes with the NARS Smudge Proof Eyeshadow Base in Light. I always go lighter whenever it comes to doing my base, especially when it comes to brighter colors. I want the colors to be able to pop. And that's another thing, like when I'm swatching eyeshadow, you have to remember, like, it might not be the easiest to see on camera, but I'm actually pretty dark on like my body compared to my face. So there's that. So I think what I'm gonna start off with is I'm gonna go in to the shade, what do I wanna do? That's the question. Okay, so I think I'm gonna start off with the shade Pink Strawberry, which is supposed to be a shimmer, but to me it's more of like one of the ColourPop sequiny shades where it is almost a matte with glitter. I mean, that's what it is. And the brush I am using is the BK Beauty 201. I can't think today, y'all. But you see what I'm saying? Like, that already looks better on the eyes than it did swatching it out. That's why you can't always trust swatches. Like, I used to do a lot of videos where I didn't swatch, so let me know what you think down below. The only issue too is when I don't swatch, if I don't use every shade in the palette, it's kind of hard to see them, I guess. I don't know. Let me know what y'all think. That builds up beautifully. I like that color a lot. So, but yeah, I don't know. I stopped watching Laura Lee's content because I don't know. Part of the thing was I didn't feel like we were in the same life space. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes having someone in the same life space is helpful when you watch them. But I have caught a couple of her videos since they adopted Eryn, and she has seemed to change for the better. Like, much more mellow, and like I think it kind of suits her. And you know, so let's give her and her brand a chance and see where we go. That's a really pretty color. And that is an unusual shade of pink, I will say that. Like, it is, I don't know, it's a little bit different. And I mean, as you can see, there's no weird patchiness, nothing like that. I am gonna take another 201 and we're gonna go into the shade Marshmallow, which is that matte white. And I'm going to go over the edge for like a brow bone highlight. That performs well. So see, you can get quite a bit of brightness out of that. Anytime you use a brow bone highlight like that, it is great. It just lifts everything into place. I love it. But there's something about this that screams, like, this color story reminds me of like early 2000s, late 90s, Lizzie McGuire, that kind of stuff. But I like it. I mean, I think it's pretty. Okay, so there is the first color down. So we like her. We like her a lot. Okay, now let's go into something a little bit deeper. So this is a BK Beauty 202, and we're gonna go into the shade right here, which is called Sugar Mama. And I am gonna do multiple looks. I'll probably do 2 looks with this palette. Okay, so there's Sugar Mama. Ooh, that adds quite a bit of brightness. I like that a lot. And see, with the BK Beauty 202, like, because it's like more of that pointed shape, I can really get into that crease, but because it has some fluff to it, I don't know. This is just like the perfect outer corner brush. It's like my favorite to use for an outer corner. So there we go. I really like how that looks. But yeah, so far these are performing really, really well, which is, as I said, that's a plus. We always want to see our shadows perform well. And shipping was rather quick. It shipped out the day that I ordered it, which was release day. Now, it has taken me a few days to get around to filming with it, but you know, I like that color. I really like that color. But I love a good bright pink. a good bright pink is always one of my favorites. I feel like I need some of that strawberry shade. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't feel like it's down in my inner corner enough. There we go. Okay. There we go. Okay, so there is that down. Now, what do I want to do? Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm gonna grab the Too Faced glitter glue. There we go. We're gonna put this on the lid. Not Too Faced, this is the NYX glitter glue. Y'all, I don't know what I would say, you know, like, I am all over the place today, but trying to prepare for company to come in, family to come in, and then also with all the construction on the building and trying to get everybody and everything into place, you know, it's a lot. So now I'm gonna go into that mixed berry shade, which is that deep purple. We're gonna apply that on the outer half of the eyelid. Oh, that's really pretty. I love that color. So again, I'm just applying that on the outer half of the eye. There we go. So that looks really pretty though. But you see what I'm saying? Like, even if you don't feel like a palette has enough depth, which, I mean, like, this is a lighter kind of color story. I do think that, you know, once you kind of put everything together, and I'm using the same brush, and this is a Sigma E55 shading brush, and now I'm going into the shade Macaroon, which is that pinky purple. And we're gonna put that on the front half of the eye and then kind of blend over the two. So, as you can see, I didn't like cut the crease. I didn't add any other shadow underneath. And these are standing on their own very, very well. Impressive. You know, I always like to see how opaque a shimmer is. Now, these are not the most shimmery. These are not the most sparkly, but I do think that they are very, very pretty. Okay, so now I'm gonna go back in with that 202 brush that had Sugar Mama on it and just go over the outer half. Okay, and then I'm gonna take the brush that had Pink Strawberry and blend out the front. Okay, so here's the top of the eyes done. I really like this color story. We're gonna go off camera, do the rest of our face, come back and do the lower lash line. So I'm back and I have the rest of my face on. I used on my lips the new Fenty Heat Gloss. I think this is like cherry, hot cherry. So it's just a pretty clear gloss with a little bit of pink tinge to it. I used the Glow Wish by Huda Beauty bronzer. This is like my favorite bronzer at this point. The Fenty Royal Icing highlight, and then the Moira blush and Tender Rose. So just a good neutral blush. And then on my waterline, I use the ColourPop BFF Gel Cream Eyeliner in Amethyst Hour. So it's like a light purple shade. So I am excited. Okay, so let's do the lower lash line. So I'm gonna grab, this is just a Cleona brush, there's no name on it, and I'm gonna go into that shade Mixed Berry, which is the deep purple, and I'm going to apply, which is the deep purple shimmer, I guess is the best way I should put that. And I'm going to take and just drag that kind of where it meets the top area and then go in about halfway on the lower lash line. So, kind of see what I mean? Okay, so now I'm gonna go into E-Bug, which is that lightest lavender. that kind of gray, smoky lavender shade, which I really like. There we go. And blend all that out. Okay. Now, let's do something on the inner corner, which I do feel like this palette, other than like the matte white, is kind of lacking a little bit of an inner corner shade, but I can make it work. I prefer shimmery inner corners. So we're gonna take and pick up that shade Marshmallow and see if we can use this to brighten our inner corner. I mean, it doesn't do a bad job. I just wish it were shimmery. I mean, because that's what I prefer. So there we go. Apply a little bit under the brow bone again. There we go. Okay, so this is the completed first look. What do you think? I think it's gorgeous. So we'll come back tomorrow and do another look. So I'm back to do another look with the Laura Lee Los Angeles palette. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into the shade Mint Chip, which is the minty shade right here. And we're going to apply that to the front portion of the eye. Now I did prime my eyes with the NARS Smudge Proof, or Budge Proof, I think it's Smudge Proof. I can never get that right, y'all. I'm sorry, not really. It is what it is. There's too many things on my brain. Like I normally do, so it's all primed. And we're gonna play with some eyeshadow. So, these are really good, actually really good pastels. See how pretty that is? I mean, and I have a lot of problems with pastels. So hopefully this kind of helps to see what you can do on a medium skin tone. Okay, so now I'm going to take and grab, this is a Sigma E40. I don't even think I told you what the other brush was. That's an E38. It's just from one of the Sigma palettes. Now I'm gonna go into the sky blue color, which is this one right here. Okay. And we're going to apply that on the back half of our eye. Blending it into the Mint Chip. Now I will say that there is quite a bit of kick up in the pan, just in case that makes anybody worry. To me, I always find it that if there's kick up in the pan, that they typically blend better. Now I will say this, at least on my eyes and my skin tone, that there's not a whole lot of difference between sky blue and Mint Chip. You can kind of see it, but not completely. So I'm going back in with Mint Chip. There we go. To give it a little bit more oomph. Okie dokie. So we like that. So I'm gonna take the shade Cloudy. We're gonna try to use this in the crease. See if this one works. I don't know if this is dark enough, so we're gonna just test it out to kind of give a little bit more definition, because there is a little bit more like darker shades in the pinks and the oranges and purples, but not a whole lot in the blues. Okay. Not my favorite. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take, here is my NYX glitter glue. There goes my primer. So we're gonna prime the eyelids with the NYX glitter glue. There we go. Use the same brush and pat that out. I don't think that Cloudy's a bad shade. I just don't think that that's going to work to really deepen up my crease. But we've got plans. I've got plans to make it work. Okay, so now I'm gonna go into the shade Blue Raspberry now. Oh yeah. That's pretty. Yeah, that gives me more depth. And that's part of it, is figuring out what's going to give you the look that you want to go for. But, I mean, it's more like, even if you don't like my look, it kind of gives you a chance to see how shadows perform in different ways. So as you can see, I'm just kind of blending that out, bringing it to cover up where I placed Cloudy. I still think Cloudy is a beautiful color. I just don't think that it's right for this look. And sometimes that's how it goes. You know, sometimes you think you know what you want and then you're like, wait, that's not what I want. Because I think about looks in advance a lot of times when I'm looking at an eyeshadow palette. Now, if it actually kind of helps, that I'm not 100% positive of. So this is a Sigma E70, and I'm going to go into that shade Blue Raspberry, and I'm going to use that in the crease with this brush just to make sure, see how that gives it a little bit more depth. There we go. Then that brush really gets it into the crease too. But I will say this, I am highly, highly impressed with the pigmentation on these shadows. So I'm gonna go back in with Sky Blue and go over the blue side. Make sure we're all blended out. There we go. But this is a little bit richer than a lot of pastels that I have. Okay, now I'm gonna take and wipe off my brush. There we go. And now we're gonna go into the shade Pistachio, which is that minty shade. And we're going to apply that to the front half of the eye. So I will say this, on the eyes, Pistachio isn't as shimmery as I would typically like, but it's okay. Okay, so I'm gonna go back in with Blue Raspberry. And I'm actually bringing in Blue Raspberry quite a bit further. I think I'm gonna bring that all the way over the lid because I like the shade Blue Raspberry better than Pistachio on the lid, I guess. Not really, I guess. I mean, I know I like it better on the lid. There we go. So I'm just kind of blending that out, but I'll probably use Pistachio in the inner corner. I think that it would be good there. Okay, so now I'm gonna go back into Mint Chip, re-intensify the front to kind of give it a little bit more color. That's pretty. Somebody's alarm's going off outside. Going back into the Sky Blue shade over the outside edges. Okay, now I think I like that. Okay, I'm going to take just the small, let's see what brush will work for this. I need something a little dense. So this is the BK Beauty 205. I'm gonna go into that shade Mixed Berry, which is that deep purple shimmer. And I'm going to apply, yes, there we go. That's better. See how that just gave this look quite a bit more depth? There we go. Perfect, perfect. Okay, blend out the edge. And the mint. Okay, so this is the top of the eyes done. I'm gonna go off camera, do the rest of my face, then we'll come back and do the lower lash line. So I'm back and I have the rest of my face on. I used the Anastasia powder bronzer in rich amber. The Pat McGrath Divine Rose, or Pat McGrath Labs blush in Paradise Venus, which looks like this, if I can get it open. I love that blush. And then the highlight, I used Diamond Dasher by Kaleidos. I used the new shade Crystal Crush in my waterline. And then last, but certainly not least, on my lips, I used the lip glaze from Kaleidos, and this is in Dune. I love this formula from Kaleidos. Like, I live for it. So, now what I need to go ahead and do is I'm gonna take that same Sigma E70, and we're gonna go into that shade Blue Raspberry, which is that sparkly blue. And we're going to apply that under the eye. Isn't that pretty? And then just kind of blend it out. Okay? And I'm going to take the brush that had the sky blue shade on it, and I'm just going to go under the edge. Make sure we're all good and blended. And then I'm going to take, this is the 205 brush from BK Beauty, and I'm going to go into that purple, which is mixed berry, and add just the touch of it. You see how that adds just a little bit of emphasis to the outside of the eyes, which whenever you're a medium skin tone and darker, sometimes adding a color that gives some depth to the outside of the eyes really does kind of help bring everything all together. Okay, so let's apply a little bit of a mascara. And I didn't put on lashes today. I didn't really feel like wearing lashes. So, no lashes for me. Okay, that's what it looks like so far. What do you think? I think it looks really pretty. So, now I'm going to take, this is just a Sigma E27, and I'm going to go into the white shade Marshmallow, and I'm going to take and apply that. There we go. See how much brighter and more raised my eye looks over here? Just from that little bit. It does help, just in case you're wondering. And I am also going to take Marshmallow and apply it to the inner corner. Now, I'm not leaving just Marshmallow there, but I am going to add something else. But I want to make sure that it looks nice and bright first. And now I'm going to take, this is a Sigma E30, and we're going to go into the shade Pistachio. There we go. That's how I wanted you to look. Much better as an inner corner shade. But it isn't the brightest inner corner shade either. I mean, it doesn't have to be. Not everything has to be like always wham bam in your face. You know what I mean? So, but I love how this look came out. I love the look that I did yesterday with this palette. I think if you're looking for a pastel-y kind of palette, this is a great palette. $45. I'm glad I gave Laura Lee's brand a chance. So, if you like this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button right down below. And if you hit the notification bell icon next to it, that will notify you when I post new videos, which is typically every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. But I guess that's it, so we'll see y'all later. Bye.